officers now. I've talked on record to all these high-powered people. You've seen all the other folks on the news saying this is moving into the green light. And they would have already probably hit Iran, is the word I had. Steve Pachinik, former Black Ops commander for the State Department and directed CIA and Pentagon Special Forces operations. Overthrows of governments. Type Steve Pachinik in. You'll see him overthrowing major governments, one after the other. He came on and said, yes, they've green-lighted an attack on Iran. But it's because that hoax that used car salesman was going to wreak all this havoc and kill the Saudi ambassador, because that hoax got exposed as a hoax, now the system's sitting there cooking up the next hoax. But Israel, I mean, I just read to you what Netanyahu's telling people, that he's intending to go ahead and hit Iran. And it won't be like when they hit Syria and blew up one primitive secret research laboratory. I mean, Iran has got this thing, these things dug in more than a tick on a hound dog. All right, the really big news, straight ahead on the Euro, what's happening there. Ron Paul wins both tallies at GOP straw poll. I've got some incredible psychological warfare news.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out. Diamond gusset jeans, made in the USA with unparalleled quality. Our Defender motorcycle jeans combine gusset comfort with Kevlar protection, so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond gusset jeans got it, others don't.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
You can bet your life on eFoods Direct. Alex has told you about the amazing, great-tasting, long-term storable food from eFoods Direct and how a food savings account is your best insurance against natural disasters, job loss, and high food costs. But did you know that this dehydrated food also protects you against foodborne contaminants like E. coli and salmonella? Those poisonous critters can't live in low-moisture food from eFoods Direct. Ask for the Alex Fall Special. The Fall Special is a 24-day supply of food in a convenient convenient portable container. A $259 value for only $199. Save $60 on 160 servings of the best food on the planet. Call 800-409-5633 and ask for the Alex Fall Special and go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Call 24 hours, 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
I would just like to point out to longtime listeners, new listeners, and first-time listeners, you can check the facts on this. It's like John Wayne would say, no brag, just fact. This is the #1 alternative radio/internet system in the world. #1 in alternative films. #1 in every category. Number one. And growing exponentially. Quite a responsibility. And it's important that I remember that myself from time to time and go back over some of the basics for all the new listeners that are tuning in. And we also need to open the phones up today. We'll do that coming up in the next segment. I'll give the number out. Then we'll start getting to your calls before this hour has ended. I want to warn you, I tend to follow the classic talk radio model in some respects, but not in many others. Like, I tend to not at the start of the show hype up everything that's coming up. In fact, I tend to do the opposite. I tend to just mention a few stories that are important and then build. Because I get ready for the show, and then the first story I launch into, I have a tendency to spend most of the time on that and then not get to the others. But in the interest of actually just letting you know some of the stuff here in front of me that I will try to get back into and break down with more detail, ATF Gunwalker update, Eric Holder to testify on Fast and Furious, CBS News. Also, we aired clips from C-SPAN earlier in the week where Miss Napolitano, the head of Homeland Security, admitted 2 years ago they were running this program, and then later testified before Congress that she hadn't, and we just went and got the videos and pointed it out. In fact, the video's online. Just type in Janet Napolitano caught in perjury on Fast and Furious. And we did that as a radio report earlier in the week and a InfoWars Nightly News. And it's right there, 100%. As I told you a year ago, we caught them in the press conferences. We knew they were going to blame the Second Amendment for the stuff in Mexico years ago because they were having the press conferences. And I had sources that they were shipping the guns into Mexico, like Celi Castile and others, DEA agent. And now it's all there. And I told you Bush was involved. And what did Issa come out a week ago and say? Bush is involved. This goes back to Bush. Of course it does. It goes back to Iran-Contra. It goes back to coffins flying back from Vietnam full of heroin. The big banks run America. They don't care about our sovereignty. They use our military. They use our entire system. They made drugs illegal so they could jack up the prices of them and arrest their competition. Wake up. Wake up. In fact, we may have new listeners who won't believe it. Just type in Issa Bush involved in gun running scandal. Just and show them Fox News and AP. Show them by that. If you hear me talk and you're a radio listener, just put it into a search engine what I say. Or if you're watching at prisonplanet.tv, you can see us show it to you. Here's another one from Associated Press. House panel may subpoena White House documents. Well, we already have Operation Gunrunner and FF, Fast and Furious, in their press conferences in 2009 and 2010. I mean, Holder came down to South Texas and gave multiple speeches in Brownsville, and then he went over to El Paso in the middle of 2009, blaming the Second Amendment for our problems and mentioning Project Gunrunner as his proof to try to ban semi-automatics in America. And then he gets up there and says he knows nothing about it when he's giving stinking press conferences, and we got the stinking video. We got the stinking video of Napolitano. Why won't Issa hammer them? They should all be arrested right now because it'll bring up Bush. There it is. Issa acknowledges gun probes similar. Not identical to Fast and Furious under Bush. Yeah, it wasn't called that. But the Sinaloa documents came out in federal court. They're allowed to bring cocaine in. The U.S. government ships in the weapons directly to them. And what source is that out of? Because I don't, in that browser, it doesn't show me. Is that CBS or is that Fox? Back it all the way out so I can see the header. It's Fox? Back it all the way out so viewers can see the header. Okay, there, it's Fox. They'll think we made it up unless they see the header. Folks, type that in yourself and go find it. Now, thank you. That said, we have this news here. You've heard all these Democratic senators call for the return of the Fairness Doctrine to restrict free speech on talk radio, and the FCC has said if they do expand it, it would be into the internet. So it's fair that I not have cutting analysis and historical gravitas and actually tell it like it is. I would have to fumble around and only cover mainstream media and regurgitate. That wouldn't be fair if I read a federal court document where they declared national security 6 months ago and admitted the U.S. government ships in narcotics and arms the cartels to kill each other to keep prices up. That's how I knew all this. That's how I knew Bush was involved, because it's in the stinking federal documents. But see, oh, no, we can't have that. You see, they're panicking. And so Google on Monday put out its transparency report, and it turns out in 2010, because they always put the stuff out close to a year late, the federal government requested that, quote, feds order YouTube to remove video for containing government criticism. And, of course, we broke that on Tuesday and Wednesday, but then AP and others found articles you can pull up, because there's literally thousands of these, where local police would order them to take down video that showed, quote, police brutality. Oh, but here's CNET News. That's a division of CBS. So this isn't some reactionary group that actually knows what they're talking about. It's the dinosaur establishment finally figuring it out. As we told you months ago, this is the U.S. version of the secret UN treaty leaked a year ago that Obama doesn't want public, that openly says no judge, no jury. Any corporation or any foreign government can order your website taken down or blocked, its DNS, for any reason. Here's the CBS News headline. Representative, we're going to get them on, Lofgren, copyright bill is the end of the internet. It is. Representative Zoe Lofgren, California Democrat, whose district includes the heart of Silicon Valley, is preparing to lead a congressional opposition to the new Stop Online Piracy Act, because there's no judge, no jury, no due process. They just say your words are, and you're gone. And then they're going to have an internet ID where you put an internet ID on when you get online to track you. Then if you're bad, they ban your ID. Now you can't use the internet. The equivalent of being put in a Nazi ghetto in 1937 financially. The anti-piracy legislation introduced yesterday in the House of Representatives to applause of lobbyists for Hollywood and other large content holders is designed to make alleged copyright infringers' websites, sometimes called rogue websites, virtually disappear from the internet. I'm still reviewing the legislation, but from what I've already read, this would mean an end to the internet as we know it. Yeah, well, the end of due process as we know it. They're already doing this. You'll see them shut down 50,000 websites to shut down one without a court order. Now, the really big news is coming up. Stay with us.